Honestly, I would love to move on to the next thing. I really would. But that's not happening. That obviously is not happening. And in terms of Judge, I know where he's coming from, and that's a really, really strong take. Or it would be if the Yankees themselves had not been in a gray area previously. And what I mean by that is this. According to a report from The Athletic last month, quote, as far back as 2015, the Yankees used the video replay room to learn other teams' sign sequences. Quote, unquote. And there was this, quote, by 2017, with rules governing electronic sign stealing still lacking the specificity that would come the next season, the Red Sox, Yankees, and Astros were all using their replay rooms to help decode sign sequences in some way, sources said, end quote. So, if you want to get into semantics and argue that the Yankees started doing that before the league issued that 2017 memo, we can certainly do that. And while I do not disagree with what Judge said, it would be a lot stronger coming from somebody else or another team that was not doing something similar to what has them so pissed off right now. But believe this, as it continues to unfold, there are definitely going to be some dudes in glass houses who are throwing gigantic boulders. And Judge was not the only guy going in on the commissioner yesterday. Far from it. Cubs pitcher John Lester picked up where Justin Turner left off, and he took a bat to Rob Manfred's comments about the World Series trophy being, quote, a piece of metal. Lester said, quote, that's someone that has never played our game. You play for a reason. You play for that piece of metal. I'm very proud of the three that I have. If that's the way he feels, then he needs to take his name off this trophy, end quote. Listen, we can have a serious debate about whether the commissioner handled the initial punishment correctly, but there is no debate that this weekend's interview that he had was an unmitigated disaster. In attempting to clean up a really bad situation, he somehow made it so much worse. In fact, he did the impossible. Manfred took a lot of the heat off the Astros and somehow put it on himself. If this guy were looking to fall on the sword himself, he executed that perfectly, except that was not the plan. Calling the World Series trophy, quote, a piece of metal, especially in this situation at this time, was an all-time bonehead move. You can't make that trophy. The thing that all these guys have spent their entire life grinding for and chasing. You can't take that and then call it a piece of metal. Or a hunk of junk. Then you're just dumping all over the hard work that has been done to achieve it and disrespecting players who won that piece of metal previously, and the players who busted their asses their entire careers, their entire lives, and still somehow didn't get anywhere near that, quote, piece of metal. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of the great Tom Crabtree and the amazing tweet that he had back in the day. Quote, imagine you make a painting. It isn't perfect by other standards, but it's your painting. You are proud. Then somebody takes a bleep on it. End quote. Because in some players' eyes, Rob Manfred essentially just took a big dump on their trophy.
You have a big dump in
on your trophy.
You have a big dump
on your trophy.
You have a big dump in you.
On your little hunk of metal. And Lester, man, he was just getting started. Quote, that's the first thing when people walk into my house. I take them to where my trophies are. I'm sure that hurt a lot of guys when they saw that, especially guys that haven't won it, that have been striving for years to try and get to it. I'm sure if Adam Dunn heard that, he played one playoff game in his whole career, he'd probably be pretty upset. It's a very, very special thing Manfred brought down significantly. End of quote. So do you think that guy's overreacting? I don't think so. Because the commissioner just took a big dump on their trophy. And you know why this is not going to change or turn anytime soon? Because there might not be a sport that has more red asses than baseball. And I haven't seen these guys this red-assed about anything in a very long time, maybe ever. So if you're looking for this just to blow over and for everybody just to keep moving, you are looking at the wrong sport and the wrong group of guys. because Lester again says no one is ready to move on yet, at least not the guys who weren't cheating. Quote, I don't think this is going to get brushed under the rug. Guys were disappointed that players didn't get punished. He's the boss, man. He makes those decisions. End of quote. Right. Not only is he the boss, not only does he make those decisions, but he just took a big dump on your hunk of metal.
You have a big dump in
Piece of metal.
Again, as much as the Astros and the commissioner want this to be swept under the rug, there's exactly zero chance of that happening. Because, once again, there may not be a sport with more red asses per capita than baseball. A sport legendary for guys freaking out, F-bombing each other, and looking to fight if somebody is somehow too slow out of the batter's box on a home run, or if somebody rips a bag with a 6-run lead. So take that kind of vitriol that these guys typically spit after somebody goes bat flip or pimps a home run, and then multiply it by infinity, and that's where we are right now. And it's going to get worse before it gets better. Much worse. How do I know? Because it's no longer just a baseball thing. How do I know? Because LeBron James just jumped into the cage with a weapon. He weaponized his Twitter feed, turning it into a blowtorch while attempting to burn the entire joint down. I wasn't there when he thumbed it out, but I would imagine that LeBron reached for his phone, cleared his throat with a, oh! And then thumbed out the following. Quote, listen, I know I don't play baseball, but I am in sports. And I know if someone cheated me out of winning the title and I found out about it, I would be bleeping irate. I mean, like, uncontrollable about what I would or could do. And he went on, and I quote, listen here, baseball commissioner. Listen to your players speaking today about how disgusted, mad, hurt, broken, etc. about this. Literally, the ball is in your court, or should I say field. And you need to fix this for the sake of sports. Hashtag just my thoughts coming from a sports junkie, regardless my own sport I play. I mean, holy crap. I'm not sure what's better. LeBron laying out how he'd be, quote, bleeping irate, or LeBron lighting him up as, listen here, baseball commissioner. I'm going to go with the latter. Man, that is some all-time disrespect. Quote, listen here, baseball commissioner, is amazing. Never has the term baseball commissioner been used as an insult like that until now. LeBron may as well have been saying, hey, old man, or maybe, look here, little man. I haven't seen LeBron get that fired up on Twitter since he dropped a, quote, you bum, back in the day. And no, that is not a green light for bum smack here. And no, I don't want any more emails from irate Craig allegedly screaming, Bum Squad! It's Bomb Squad, not Bum Squad. Stay on point, clones. And back to LeBron. That's amazing. Honestly, that's a star athlete in one sport coming out of nowhere to destroy the commissioner of another sport because he's a fan of the game and he's pissed off by how the commissioner's handling it. And then telling him, quote, you need to fix this for the sake of sports. Hey, you got that, baseball commissioner? What's next? Lamar Jackson taking a run at the commissioner? Sid Crosby and Alex Ovechkin jumping on Facebook Live to smash the commissioner?
That's
Rory
right.
McIlroy taking to Instagram with a listen here, baseball commissioner? How about the winner of Wilder Fury 2 demanding to face Manfred in the ring next? At this point, none of it would surprise me. The commissioner is on the mound right now, and he's getting absolutely shelled. And there's nobody up in the bullpen. Nobody's getting warm. Nobody's coming to save this guy. His arm is hanging, he's getting rocked, and there is no help on the way. What I'm saying is, this dude better find a way to make a pitch or two to work out, or he's going to be out there a hell of a long time. Even dopey Bud Selig would have never handled this badly.